Yes, we're live here at the Radio 103.9 Lounge. I'm Mina SayWhat. We got a live studio audience, and Anderson .Paak is here. Yes. People came out for you, Anderson.
It's packed.
It's packed.
Precursor.
You're a big superstar, Anderson .Paak.
Yeah, apparently. It's crazy.
Yeah, you've done a lot since the last time I saw you.
It's been moving.
Oh, that's not even the word for it. You just got a whole new energy, like a whole new vibe now.
I'm popping.
You're popping. So what are you doing now different? What happens when you're popping?
Change my number.
Oh, wow. So the number I have, it doesn't work anymore?
No
That's
longer,
it?
No longer.
You never gave me your number. I'm just lying.
No, I do the same thing, you know. I try to, I'm even, you know, ain't nothing changed too much. I try to do what's been working, so. Yeah,
right.
Keep it the same.
I'm happy that you're finally getting like the notoriety that you should have got, you know, because he's a talented artist, right, guys? Very, very talented. You've been doing all the late night shows. I see you on billboards. Like, why do you think people are now becoming like super fans of Anderson .Paak?
I think it's just timing, you know. We put out a lot of material too, so with me, it's never been like overnight thing or like a real quick thing. It's always been like a slow bubble. So once the material gets out there, you know, people start sharing it, and you know, everybody. I think I'm like more of the artists of like, if you know, you know. You know?
Right.
People that listen to me usually have good taste. You know? Like, they don't listen to just anything. They're usually the people that put their friends on the good music. So you know.
So you released 2 projects, Oxnard and Ventura, in 6 months. Don't you think that maybe, right? Maybe that had something to do with it? I mean, you kind of flooded the market with this amazing music.
Yeah. I wanted to try different things, you know, before we waited like 3 years or so before we put out the new project. And this time I was like, let's see what happens if we hit them back to back. And yeah, I think it worked out well.
I saw a video of Dr. Dre and you saying like, I'm going to do these 2 albums. He was like, wait a minute, hold on, pump your brakes.
Yeah, I said I want to. You can't really tell him what you're going to do. You got to phrase it differently. But I would like to, if it's cool with you, do 2 albums. And he was scratching his head, but yeah, he hit me up the other day like, yo, AP, I'm really happy we did it like that. It's gangster. Yeah, AP, you was right. I was happy about it.
Was he was the pushback really great, or was he on board? Because in the video, it kind of seemed like he was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, everybody was shook. Like, he was just like, huh? And I was like, yeah, because I had one album, but it started to morph into something else once I started working with him. So I was like, okay, I see what this is becoming. Like, one album's gonna be gritty, one's gonna be pretty. And I think it was like, even for me, it was funner for me because I got to really delve in, like, okay, this is gonna be like the hip hop album, this is gonna be the R&B, and it kind of helped my mind settle in a little bit more too. But yeah, at first everybody was just like, huh? I wanted to drop them at the same time because I had them kind of done at the same time. We were just kind of mixing it. But I'm glad it worked out.
It worked out a lot. Yeah. He's now a Grammy award-winning artist. Can we clap it up for that?
Please, guys.
Woo! I was like, oh, let me text him. Oh, it don't work.
Green text.
So how does that work? You got tied with Kendrick Lamar in Best Rap Performance. I don't think that has there ever been tied?
I won. Yeah.
How does that? How do you get tied?
Depends on who you ask, but I won the Grammy. I don't know how I was tripping out. I was like, I didn't know you could do that, but you know, it's just my luck. Can't just win the Grammy. Got a tie. I like it though, because I was with J-Rock, and I feel like he like really works hard too, and he was someone that has been putting it in, you know, a lot of work throughout the years, and it's dope to be able to be recognized, you know, for your hard work. So I was like really happy to be able to tie with J-Rock, and my TE family is like, yeah, it's cool.
Right. You put out a song with Kendrick, so I'm sure it's like full circle. You know, like Dr. Dre kind of like worked with Kendrick, and then now you're signed to him. It's kind of like a family thing, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. We come from that Dr. Dre boot camp.
Right. So you got the new ring. This is the glow up ring.
It's a glow up ring. It still got lotion on it.
I'm a Grammy winning artist ring.
Understand.
It's a lion.
Yeah, it's a Met Gala.
That's the symbol for the Met Gala. Mm-hmm. How'd you get that?
Well, I was dressed by Gucci, and then, you know, it was like 5 Italian stylists in the room, and throwing stuff on me, and then this is the one I got to keep for sure. I was like, all right, I'm going to keep the ring.
Nice.
I play drums too, so I was like, maybe I should have a ring.
I've seen you. We're going to talk about your band because I've seen you live with your band, which is super amazing.
What show did you go to?
Remember the performance?
I don't. Did you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I was somewhere else and you were performing and you had your whole backup singers. You were doing the drum thing.
Yeah.
I saw you. You were amazing. That was the first time I saw you live.
Thank you.
Did anybody say anything about wearing the Gucci? How do you feel about that?
I didn't really catch any flack, but then I hopped over to the Ebony Instagram, and then I started seeing people in the comments felt some type of way. But I saw one, that I really liked. The comment was like, we wasn't really rocking Gucci, but he make it look good. And that's what I felt like it was all about. I feel like I don't know any other like luxury brand that had to really pay attention to the masses like they had to after what they did, and then that we're putting in effect to make change. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the only way you can really make changes when you actually change. So I felt like that was the only reason why I really did it. I felt like they were really adamant about making change and feeling bad for what they did. So.
Yeah, like they rolled out a whole like step plan and gave scholarships and certain jobs and hired a new director, I believe. So there was definitely like something actionable that happened from all of that. Yeah. Wow, man, you glowing up. I see them starting to get into your personal business. I learned a lot about you watching other interviews, like about your parents that I didn't know, about like the domestic violence and your mom and your father. Like, do you at all feel uncomfortable sometimes, like sharing that information?
Sometimes, but I think it can help, someone that's been through similar situation. Some people don't know how to like talk about certain personal things. I usually put it in the music, and I don't really like to just speak about it. But I realized that there's probably a lot of people that went through similar situations, felt like they couldn't get to where I was at, and so if it helps them, I like to tell the story. Yeah,
because I saw you on the CBS morning show, and I was like, look at Anderson Paak on the CBS morning show. I know him.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's right.
How are the kids and the wife? Like, do you have time for them? I feel like you're everywhere.
Man, I wish I had more time. The longer I stay, the broker we are. So I have to be on the move. But man, I just saw my little boys right before I came here. My wifey's out here. They're all loving it. You know what I'm saying? Wifey's just feeling good. She loves New York because she loves to shop. So she's having a blast. And they're great. Thank God for my wife because it's very unbalanced right now. Like I'm very much just like when I'm not in the studio, then it's about the tour and making sure the show is right and balancing all those different things, and she's really just holding it down with my boys, and now they're bilingual and they got some sense in their heads.
They speak Korean, right?
Korean and English.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's crazy, man. And he's homeschooled, my 8-year-old, so he's just like, he ain't got no schedule. He going to sleep at 3 a.m. and shit.
So your wife is Korean, half Korean,
full-blown Korean,
right? Korean, and then your kids are Korean. Do you know Korean at this point?
Well, I know a little bit. I know enough to make people.
So you can go to
impressed.
Korea and like maneuver.
I can chop it up a little bit. I'm gonna run into a raw at some point, but I know enough to make people like.
So can you like speak to me right now?
안녕하세요.
Oh Lord.
Man. What's up? What's poppin'?
Keep going.
What's good? How you do? Well, shit.
That's the wrong language, Anderson.
Native and Anderson Paak. Chincha Jimmy's all.
What did you say?
I'm having a good time. My name is Anderson Paak.
That's all you know,
fun. Huh? Yeah.
I can tell your mind working. Like, wait a minute.
Idiwa. That means come here.
Iwa.
Yeah.
How about give me a kiss?
Bebo. What is it, Bebo? Or beso? No, that's Spanish. Huh?
That's Spanish. Beso.
Popo. Something like that.
Popo?
Yeah.
That's something else.
Something like that. Koreans don't really talk like that.
Don't give me a popo.
That's more like a Latin thing. Koreans aren't really about that. Okay.
How about I'm a rapper? Do they have a word for rapper in Korea?
I would never say that, even in English.
No?
So yeah, I would never.
How do you describe yourself then?
I wouldn't say I'm a rapper. Rappers get punched out now. Like, nah, I'm a musician. I'm handsome. I'm just chilling. All right.
No, well, rappers are getting robbed.
Rappers get robbed, beat up, scammed. Like, nah, ain't nobody saying I'm a rapper. Not me. No, I play drums. You know what I'm saying? Come check me out at the Garden. That's all I really say these days.
Anything crazy has happened with your newfound, extra fame? Any crazy stories?
The craziest stories, I can't tell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all would have a field day. I mean, honestly, like, It's pretty chill. I'm in a blessed situation because I feel like again, if you know, you know. I'm not getting hounded like in the streets or nothing like that. But people will be like, "Yo, I fuck with your music," you know, and like, but it's not like I'm getting swarmed on. I can still go out and get a, you know what I'm saying, a meal.
Right.
And nobody's tripping. The craziest stuff just happens internally, you know, with my band or, you know, just situations like that.
So let's talk about the band. He has a band called Free Nationals. Have you guys heard of this band? Clap it up if you have. You guys are amazing. How did this come together? Because you're kind of like the nucleus of the band, right? You sit in the middle and you're playing the drums. He's an amazing drum player. And then you have the two singers, and then you have the you know, the guitar. Like, you guys just really gel well together. Like, did that happen organically, or did you pick these people by hand?
Yeah, it happened kind of both. I was in LA. I moved to LA when I was like 21, and I had a demo, and we were going to music college in Hollywood, and I met all the musicians kind of separately. And one of them, Jose, my best friend that plays guitar, we both had girlfriends that we used to date in the same complex. And I would be like smoking in the garage, and he would be smoking in the garage. And I was like, "What's up, man?" And then we just kept kicking it. And one day he got kicked out of his house. His girlfriend kicked him out, and I was couch surfing at another place. And I was like, "Yeah, come through, man. There's room over here." And he brought his guitar, and then we was just kicking it ever since. And then we met Ron, who also went to the college. And when he wasn't touring with Snoop Dogg, he would play with us. And then it was like our three-piece, and we used to do like cover shows and play all kinds of stuff.
And Ron plays what?
He plays piano.
So it's the pianist, you're the drummer, and then you have the guitarist, and then the two singers.
Yep, now we have the two singers. And then we got our bass player later. He used to come to the shows. We met through a mutual friend, and he started playing with us. And then the one white boy we have in the band, the percussion player, yeah.
I missed him. I didn't see the white boy.
He's our last white friend left, for sure. He's crazy. There's a lot of times it was on the fence, but yeah, now he came around and like it. But he used to DJ, and like he was like producer, you know, more of like a studio guy, but we wanted someone like a DJ and stuff, so we talked him into being in the band, and now he does like percussion, and it's cool.
What happened to your other white friends?
They still exist. They're just mainly like in offices, and they sign checks and stuff. Yeah.
So I saw that you performed in Boston, it was?
Yeah, Boston Colin.
Yeah. So you brought out Lil Nas X during your set, and then you were doing the drums. Like, that was amazing. Tell me why you decided to like bring him out. I mean, he obviously has a big record, but there's a lot of people with big records. Yeah, they came up and they asked if we mind if he came out and did a song, you know, during our set. And I was like, And like, only reason was like, I really liked the song when it came out, and so I was like, maybe we'll see, but I want to meet him first, because if he's an asshole, I don't want to do it. So yeah, he came through. He was super humble, real cool kid. Came through, met all the band, was chilling, played all his, you know, some of his records and stuff. So I was like, yeah, he should come out in the middle. We'll jam out and stuff. So it was a good moment. The crowd he had like the full like cowboy boots on and the hat, and
he was dripped out.
He had his Wranglers on.
Had his little step. I like his moves, man. That's why I was like, yo.
He was do-si-doing out there?
Yeah, white people are mad. They are angry, dude. I'm like, y'all got to deal with it too.
Yo, I wanted to ask you about that, because a lot of people are upset with what he's doing. He's mixing country with trap.
We had to deal with so much appropriation. Like, y'all, you just eat this up, fam. And Billy Ray got on it, so ain't really much y'all can say.
Right.
The kid looked good. You know what I'm saying? You got the jam, and like, what y'all gonna do? Just be mad. Just eat that up, man. Y'all got to deal with that shit too.
Right. Yeah. I saw he performed at the Stanley Cup. I'm like, who has ever done that?
Yeah,
like the Stanley Cup? That's the National Hockey League here.
Yeah, they got to give it to him. When you're the hottest in the game, it's just what it is.
What do you say to the people that are a little slow on his progression?
Lil Nas?
Yeah.
I don't know, like, Get From Under the Rock. Like, it's the number one song. You know?
Yeah, for like 6, 7, 8 weeks now.
People gonna feel some type of way when you get like a big record like that. You're not gonna make everybody happy. Like, that's the whole point. Like, even with, you know, how I've put out this music, like the last 2 albums, you know, I realized I had to get over that, like trying to appease everybody or, you know, think everybody's just gonna love you. You know, the more successful you get, you know, you got people that feel like you shouldn't be there, or I like his old shit better, and that's a part of it. You ain't really doing nothing if you ain't got that kind of dialogue going on.
Right. I saw he called you the GOAT.
Yeah.
People call you the greatest of all time?
Sometimes they do. They throw that word around a lot.
How does that make you feel?
I'm just humbled. It's dope. It's
With
cool.
the smile. Yeah, I see the smile.
Nah,
He like
cool.
it.
It's cool, man. You know, like I said, it's like a lot of times you have artists that are big fans. Like they call me like an artist. A lot of times like other artists are huge fans. And it's like that doesn't mean like I'm gonna have like multi-platinum records and stuff, but I always did it for the respect. So it's dope to see kids like that are killing it on the charts, and then when they see me, they're like, yo man, they're real humble. So
good for you.
It's dope, man. It's all about the respect for me.
Right. So on Ventura, you have some interesting collaborations on the album, right? I want to start with Andre 3000.
Yeah.
So you guys were actually in the studio together. Can you describe that moment for me?
He's just like all the goats like that, you know, Pharrell, him, and you know, the ones I've met are just real humble, real chill. They don't really drink or smoke. You know, they're just real like zenned out, and he's really like that. He listened to both albums, just loved it, and he picked like 4 or 5 cuts that he liked, and then I thought I was gonna get the verse that day. He was in there for like 8 hours. I'm like, I'm gonna give you some time, man. Came back out. He's like, I'll be ready tomorrow. I was like, bet. Me and Dre was both like, all right. We don't want to press him too much, but you know, 3 or 4 days, a week, you know, month went by, and I didn't know
Nothing.
I was gonna get it. Yeah. And I didn't want to push nobody, and I was like, make it natural. And then eventually he sent it in, and I was just like mind blown.
How much longer? Like how much time after you played on the record?
It felt like years to me, but I had just got it out of my mind that it was gonna happen. I was moving on, and
He
then
lied to you.
I was just like, you know, it's just like people.
You lied.
He only gonna drop a verse like every so often, so
Right.
I understand this is like a big deal. So, if he ain't feeling it, he ain't feeling it. Then he sent it in, and I was like, oh my God, we got it. But then that was just the beginning of it, you know. Then when you get the verse, then it's like, okay. Then you know he hit his back like, I don't know if this is right. If I did a good enough job for the song. Then when me and Dre gotta, you know, give him the pep talk, and we got him good. Then the day of release. I don't know, man. Does it sound weird to you? This and that. I'm like, it's coming out in 4 hours, bro. Don't do this to me.
He was trying to pull a Kanye.
It's dropping in 4 hours. I'm just gonna turn my phone off. I'm gonna have to just act like I didn't get the message.
Why are the greats like that?
They gotta be. This is like everything's on the line, you know. Like they're maintaining their legacy, and they want to make sure that everything they do is a moment, and there's no in between. But yeah, I like working with them, Dre and Andre 3000, because I feel like I'm that person that's like, yo, it's cool, man. You don't got to worry about it. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? They got that trust in me, and they can feel free that it's going to be good, man. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to let you put out anything that's weak.
Right. The Nate Dogg record.
Yeah.
I mean, for you to get Nate Dogg on a track after, you know?
Yeah.
How did that come about? Because it sounds like to me like it was already a track and you kind of tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah, Fred Reck, the producer of that record, he been collabing with Nate Dogg for years, and that was the last song he did before he had a stroke. And I was done. I thought the Ventura was gonna be 10 songs. I wanted to keep it real short. I didn't want to mess with it. I didn't want to add nothing, take nothing away. And then he played me that song, and I was like, oh man, this is crazy. He's like, man, we got to do this for the record, man. Y'all would have just, I know you guys would have got along. And so he played it for me, and I was like, okay, maybe we could do something where it sounds like we going back and forth. So we started, you know, very, very carefully kind of dissecting and figure out a way how we can make it feel like a natural collab. And that's how it came out. I like it.
Yeah, I liked how you talked back and forth with him, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and I can relate, man. You know,
did you channel him in? Like, how did this happen?
I just feel like we're old
you called
souls.
somebody up, or
right.
you know, had him come and bring him back to, you know.
He was in the room. That's why it went smooth. Real talk. You know, dealing with them women relationship problems, I could relate. So it was like, it was smooth, and yeah, I'm really happy how that came out.
How does the clearance work for that? Does he have an estate?
His family, yeah.
His family
have to approve it, yep. And his sons, you know, yeah, they blessed us with the green light on that.
Was that an easy thing? Because I know sometimes family members don't want the music to come out.
It was easy. It was a lot easier than dealing with some of these other features I've had to deal with.
Really?
Yeah.
Who gave you a hard time?
Nobody. Everybody's cool.
Anything not end up on the album?
It can be hard. It don't even have to be artists sometimes. Sometimes it's like producers, you know, musicians. You know, everybody's like, the industry is tough, man. Everybody's just to like not getting their what they feel like is fair. So I want everybody to be happy and everybody to be able to promote the album and be feeling good about it after it's done. Ain't nothing worse than when you got a new album out and people like, I ain't been paid and I don't feel like I got the right percentage. And you looking at niggas and they like looking at you crazy. Like, it's not my fault, bro. I didn't even know. I didn't know. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's cool. Everybody's chilling. So I like to, sometimes it could take a little longer, but it's worth it in the end. But, you know, I'm always down to go. Even Smokey, you know what I'm saying? Smokey's like, I'm Smokey Robinson. I'm getting 50 off top. Like, I don't care what I wrote or didn't write. I'm on the song. I was like, Smokey, come on, dog. What am I supposed to do? I wrote some stuff too. You know what I'm saying? There's other people there. You don't see. He's like, baby, okay, just because it's you, Anderson, I'm going to go down. 5%. I'm like, thank you. Now I can get something. Yeah. Nah, you just got to negotiate, you know. Call people up. That's what it is. When you call them up, it's different than texting. Like, right. Come on, bro. Yeah, so.
Let me get 3%. Does that make a huge difference at the end of the day?
Depends on how big the record is. If it's Lil Nas X, hell yeah. I'm sure somebody want 3% of that. Yeah.
Right.
You know, you just never know what the record's going to do. And these are timeless records. So it's like, you never know what they're going to be used for later or what's going to happen. So
how do you go about getting a legend on your music? Like you talk about Andre 3000 and Smokey Robinson. I mean, these are not artists that are working with just anyone. You know, how do you even make that happen?
I mean, I didn't really have to chase anybody down. I made the records and I was pretty adamant about only working with like legends or icons. I want to keep that going and working with people that can make the song, take the song to the next level and making a great song, not someone that was like, oh, I just want someone to rip right here, this verse or anything. I wanted to make a great song. So everyone that we wanted to be on the songs, it just happened naturally, like even make it better. We was working on it real early in the process. I was like, yo, this sounds like some Motown Smokey Robinson vibe. And my manager at the time, like, you know, he said a lot of stuff, but one of the things he used to say was, yeah, Smokey Robinson, that's like my stepdad. I was like, okay. and like after we started making that record, I was like, I'm about to press this line, see if this is real. I was like, yeah, what's up? You think we get Smokey on this track? The next day he was in the studio. I was like, okay, cool.
Wow, that's really his stepdad.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Listen, my mom's ex-boyfriend's been telling me he's Remy Ma's uncle for years.
Yeah, you need to see what's up. Your receipts.
I don't know. I never tested him on it. He's like, oh yeah, Rem.
There's only one way to find out. Yep. Yeah.
So Make It Better is the single off of Ventura. Have you guys heard the song? It's an amazing. Clap your hands if you think it's an amazing song. When I heard the whole album, I was like, that's the record. That one in Brandy. But talk to me about the process of making that, because I really, really love what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was in there with Alchemist and Fred Rec and Last Artful Dodger, who was on Oxnard, who was on the song Anywhere, and we was on a wave. Me and Dodger were just, you know, writing, and that was one of the tunes that we started. We kind of had the skeleton for, and we were like, yeah, this is gonna be like trying to rekindle the flame of an old relationship. And I've been married for 10 years, gonna be 10 years soon. We got 2 kids, so I know all about that. It's like when you're looking at the same person for 10 years, it's kind of hard to be like, yeah, you know,
it's the
like,
same thing.
I still think she's sexy, but you know what I'm saying, I'll have to do a little bit more for her to like get excited about me, you know what I'm saying? I gotta like put a little more effort.
Oh, the Billboard doesn't do it for her?
Not really. You know what I'm saying? Just
how about the ring?
Me cleaning up, you know, after myself, it will probably do a lot more than that damn Billboard. You know what I'm saying? Me dumping the trash, me like doing something around the house that's productive. That really turns her on more. Yeah, so but yeah, you know, you just gotta like do little things in order to spice up the situation. And we had that kind of skeleton, and then I was like, we should get Smokey involved in this somehow. And he came to the studio and he listened to the song. He was like, okay, baby, like I see where you're going. Do me a favor, bring me 2 discs, 1 instrumental, 1 acapella, and I come back and I see if I can do something for this. Because we had a bunch of curse words and stuff, and it was different. You know, it was like Anderson .Paak style. You know, it was like you had a couple little racier lyrics in there, and he was like, "You can't." He was just had a scrunchy face the whole time, like. I feel it, but why are you gonna say that to the girl? Like, you gotta say something sweet. You want her to like the song, right? I'm like, yeah. And so he took the song.
Wait. What are these lyrics that he took out?
For example, like I had, it's easier to walk away than to eat what's on your fucking plate. And he was just like, what? And he came back like, it's easier to walk away than to look for what would make you stay. And then I was like, okay, bet. That's why they pay you the big money. So I hopped my ass in the booth and did exactly what he said. And then he... and that's what it's about. Even on Oxnard, it's always about like me being that. It's about like making that, you know, I hate to be cliche, but like, you know, the bridge, you know, between the new and the old. And I feel like they have to have a certain amount of trust. I have to have a certain amount of trust. So that's what it was all about. Like, there's no point in working with Smokey unless you're gonna let him write something. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's his pen is that's Smokey Robinson. You know, he's the author of some of the greatest, you know, music of all time. And if he blessed me to get on the record too, that was an extra. You know what I'm saying? I really wanted to work with him to pick his brain on some songwriting thing, because I felt like that was something I need to challenge myself with, writing a straight ahead love song that was relatable to people, right, without, you know, having to curse. So yeah, it was sweet to be able to hop in the booth and take direction, and for him to be able to trust things that I was doing as well.
Did you guys really hash that out though? Because I feel like there's such a difference with today's R&B than like the older R&B. You know, like there are a lot more curse words. It's a lot dirtier and raunchier. Did you guys kind of discuss that a little bit?
No, it was no discussion. I was just like, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna listen to what you say, bro. Because I could do my thing all over the place. Like I got other tracks. I'm doing my thing. Like I'm with Smokey. I'm gonna do what you say. Like some people, I learned that from Schoolboy Q. Like if you went with Drake, just do what he say, my nigga. Like he got a lot of. If you went with certain people, do your thing. But there's a time where you should really just be like this too. Like, right. You know, that's exactly what it is. I'm like, I'm gonna take heed to that in certain situations. You know, like. And you know, there's times where you have to, if I'm not feeling, I'm not finna do nothing I'm not feeling. And so I was like, when I got done with the song, I was like, this is beautiful, like this is cool. Like if anything, I felt like it's a little wholesome, you know, like that was my thing. Like I felt a little uncomfortable because it was so like clean, you know. So but at the end of the day, I really love it. And it's just like when you play the songs live, that's how you really know. And they know every word to that song. And it's like, it's dope to have a song where, you know, half the set I realize I'm like screaming, like, you know, and then to pull up and then I get to get my croon on, you know what I'm saying? I was singing over changes and strings and stuff. It's cool to have that balance, and I'm really grateful that I was able to you know, learn from Smokey on that. And yeah, we talked about it a little bit, but it was just more so like him saying, you got to say something that she wanted. You got to make love to her with your words, baby. That's what he used to say. So yeah. Good
for you, man. Good for you. I could talk to you forever, but I'm gonna allow the audience to ask some questions because I could talk. As y'all can see, we could talk. Anybody want to come up? Y'all can sit right next to us. Come on over. You can sit right next to me, but don't sit too long because you got to share the mic.
I'll be real quick. So I'm Nyanka. Nice to meet you both. My question for you is from Venice to Ventura. What would you say has contributed the most to the growth in your sound and your music?
What has contributed? I love the fact that the freedom that's the whole point of giving them locations, is that we could do whatever we want, and that's what I'm really most proud of when I look back on all of the different things. It was keeping that essence. If there was one word, it's like freedom on everything. On Venice, we got to experiment with everything from modern R&B to dance to trap. I mean, we had songs called Drugs, where I was singing through autotune, and then we had Might Be, where it was like, you know, I was kind of crooning, and we had dance joints like Love You. I got to do everything. We were just trying to find a sound on that, and we was just trying to just get popping. Like, nobody knew about us. And then Malibu, I got a chance to be more personal and talk about my story. I got a chance to strip the production side down, and it was more soulful, more showing our musicality. And then Ventura, we got to like enjoy the fruits of our labor. Same man, new car, working with big wig producers like Dre, and having big time features, you know, J. Cole, Kendrick, Pusha, just like it was supposed to be like a movie, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know what else to do, because like at the end of the day, when you're working on that album and you got all these different, you know, people and expectations, I just assumed it, as they say, like when sometimes you just assume it, and like, all right, this is what it's gonna be. Like, it's gonna be that album. It's gonna be larger than life, and I had such a blast with that. And then, you know, in Ventura, it was like, okay, you get to like reflect on all these albums and appreciate what really matters, like, you know, love and happiness and your family, and you know, your band, and people that you've came into your life, and people that have gone out of your life as well. So it was all about challenging ourselves and keeping the freedom. So yeah, I don't know if that answered your question, but
thank you.
Yeah.
It did. Thank you.
Cool.
Anyone else want to sit right on the couch? Come on up, sir.
First, let me get some love.
See, bro.
Come on.
I'm like Freddy Cougar. That's what's up.
I want to see if I can get this. I mean, like, what was your first love? It was like rapping, singing, or it was just everything together? Because, like, you know, like you mentioned Drake, you know, he could sing and rap. You know, Lauryn Hill started off singing. Then with the Fugees, she was rapping, and she was like, great, phenomenal. And I'm like, what was your inspiration?
You know, I knew I was gonna be a dancer coming up. Like we used to break dance and battle dance. Every reception, like I was all about the entertainment when I was coming up. Like that was like my earliest memories, like pop locking, and during recess we used to battle the Mexicans and like just like break dance. Like that's what we used to do. Like that was very serious. There's no way I would do that right now. I'm not going viral for the wrong reasons.
Come on, let's.
You can come to the show. I'll still be.
Can you do a freeze?
I can do a little. What's a freeze?
You're a break dancer. How you don't know what a freeze is?
Oh, the pause. I might can hit a freeze. I can still hit a freeze.
Can I? No. Can we see it?
On the way out, I'm gonna hit you with one.
You can't give me a little. You know how they be. No. All right.
Okay, now you're a big star now. You know, like all the stars. You know, like, oh, we gonna move to L.A. I mean, I know. He said he lived in L.A. in California. Where you originally from?
Oxnard, California. Yeah.
Oh, you are? Oh, see.
Yeah, it's about an hour north of LA. It's a small town vibe, like by the beach.
Okay.
Yeah. But we used to come out to LA a lot growing up, and we like that's all I wanted to do was to get out to the bigger city when I was coming up. But I really appreciated that I grew up in a small town, because I think that's what made me like unique, and it changed my perspective. I feel like if I would have grew up in LA, I would have had a lot more distractions, caught up in a lot more different things. There's a lot more going on in Los Angeles that you can get caught up with.
Definitely.
And it was dope when I finally got to LA. I had to just sit down and watch for a long time, because I thought I was the shit. Like where I was at, it was like, you know, small pond, big fish. And I came to LA and I was like, oh wow, like everybody's dope. Like let me just sit my ass down for a little bit, figure this out. And that's what I did for like 10, damn near 10 years before anything really popped off. I was Breezy Lovejoy and going through artist development pretty much. I didn't know that's what that was, but before I got to Dre, I was finding a sound. And then by the time I got to Dre, I was confident in my sound and who I was. So that was it.
Well, I'm pretty sure all of us like your sound. Like, I was like, I'm going to meet Anderson .Paak. I started YouTubing you, and I'm checking out your stuff. I mean, doing big things,
Thank
baby.
you, man. Appreciate it.
You want to do your own interview?
Stop it.
Anyone else? One more. Come on up, sir. Oh, you got everybody want to ask you questions.
What's up, bro? Yeah.
My name is Bundy, Fantastic Prod. I work with Sadat X and Master Ace through my brother Faiz, but late in the nighttime, I'd be watching your video, I'd be waking up my lady. I said, yo, you gotta check out Anderson Paak. This is banging. But I got one thing to say. What does Anderson.Paak mean?
The dot stands for detail. Yeah, when I was coming up, I used to go by Breezy Lovejoy for like 6-7 years, and my mentor at the time was like, when you meet Dr. Dre, are you really gonna tell him your name is Breezy Lovejoy? I was like, damn. So like we went through this whole process. Like it was a real like I feel like everybody goes through a time. I don't know if you ever lost weight or like had to like where you just got sick of it and you was like, I'm about to start a new chapter. Everything's gonna change. Like my whole lifestyle. That's exactly what happened. Like it was a few times in my life that happened. Like once was after high school. I was real fat growing up and I was sick of it. Like I was like, 19-year-old, still ain't been laid. I was like, I'm about to lose weight. I'm about to change my whole thing. And then that was like a major transition, like a transformation, you know what I'm saying? And then I was Breezy Lovejoy, I was doing my thing. And then, I was bouncing around LA for years doing the same thing. And, it was dope. I got a lot of like practice doing that and a lot of like character building. And then, it was time once I had my son was about to be born. My wife, we just got married and she just came from Korea. I was trying to figure out how to keep her in the country and getting all these crazy things. And so I was before that I didn't care about nothing but where the weed at and where's the next party and just like a little bit of money got me through the week. I wasn't ambitious. I didn't have no work ethic. And then after I switched my name over, I was like, I developed a work ethic and I remember I got like I started setting goals and I got a whiteboard. I started like being more strategic about what I was getting into and paying more attention to detail. And so after that process, after I came out of it and we started getting the records for like Malibu and all this stuff, I was like, I kept that dot there to remind myself that you need work ethic and not just talent. And you need to pay attention to the small things. And it also kept it there because I noticed that I always pay attention when people didn't put the dot, so I know where to put them too.
All right, that's nice. Well, if you got time, you should go to Koreatown.
Okay.
Koreatown, you're gonna love it.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Nice. Yeah. Pleasure to meet you.
I really wanted to talk about how you were trying to. How did you meet your wife and get papers to keep her here? But
that was a whole process.
But we can't.
Yeah.
One more question. Okay, we have one more. We have time. All right.
Nice. Aww. There we go. Let the youth speak. What's good?
Come, you sit next to him. Here.
What was it like to perform the first time?
Ooh, good question.
My name is Khalik, and I play basketball with Scan Legends.
Okay, nice. It was, the first time I performed, it was a couple of times. I remember the first time, like, I learned how to really play the drums. My mom came out and was like dancing in her pajamas. They call it a muumuu. I don't know if your mom wears one of those. Your mom's probably young. She don't do that. But my mom came out dancing in like a big ass shirt, pretty much is what it is. And she was dancing, doing the mashed potatoes and stuff. And I knew I wanted to like, I was like, okay, I can make people dance with what I'm doing with my hands. Like I wanted to do that. And then the first, concert in LA was at a place called BB King's, and that's where a lot of people used to play. And we was opening up for Tidra Moses. And it was just like, I was so nervous, man. I didn't know what was gonna happen. This is in like Hollywood. Everybody was there. It was crazy. This is when you had to pay to play. So I had sold all of my tickets. All my family was there. And I got on the stage. This is how long ago this was. I was playing piano and I wasn't playing the drums yet. I was playing keys and singing. And I just closed my eyes and started playing. And as soon as the crowd started getting on my side, they started going crazy. It was the best feeling. I'll never forget that night. It was an epic night. It felt great. I wanted to do it forever after that. It was like I was chasing that feeling. Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, they can catch you on tour. You're on a national tour right now.
Best Teeth in the Game tour.
Yes, with the Free Nationals.
Free Nationals, Thundercat, Earl Sweatshirt, No Name, Mac DeMarco, Jesse Reyes.
Oh,
it's kind of crazy.
I love Jesse Reyes.
Yeah, me too.
Love. Can you talk about her a little bit? I know we got to go, but okay, we can't talk about her.
Yeah, she's great.
She's great. Check out Jesse Reyes. Yeah. And what else? They need to check out the albums, Oxnard, Ventura.
Check out the album, Oxnard, Ventura, Venice, Malibu, all of it. Get the whole collection. And come to a show and, Yeah.
What else?
What else? Get some merch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right. Thank you for coming through. Thank you guys for being here. It's Anderson Paak. I'm Mina SayWhat. We're at Cumulus Urban, broadcasting live from the Radio 103.9 Lounge. Thanks for watching.